What's going on, guys? This is Sir Freefall, and I know it's been a little bit, but I'm coming at you with an Elden Ring video. I know, how original. This game has also taken over my life. Basically, this is a build review and a build update, and probably what I honestly think, and I know there's a lot of clickbait titles out there, but I honestly, genuinely think that this is one of the strongest, if not the strongest build in Elden Ring. This basically takes zero stamina damage, full blocking, thrusting swords, attacking while blocking. This is gameplay of New Game Plus 7 Millennia, and I first tried it. I know I'm using the Black Knife Tish summon, but honestly, you kind of have to once you get into New Game Pluses. But either way, this character is like 200 hours in. Um, really strong. I'm gonna go over what the gear looks like, what are my decisions and all that stuff, but I just wanted to show you how crazy strong this build is. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's a couple flaws to it, and I'll go over that, but I'm just gonna leave you with the rest of this fight, and then I'll get right into what the gear is. So glad to be making videos on Elden Ring. All right, let's get right into it. So, I have no official name for this build, but my name for my character is Block the World. Because that's what we do, we block the world. Currently, we're at level 303. This is pretty high. You definitely do not need to be this high of a level. Basically, the only requirements are your 90 endurance, because we're going to need a lot of endurance to be able to wield all of the armor as well as the weapons that we use, and the shield that we use. Um, then you want to put points into either arcane, dex, and strength, but I would go with vigor first. So pretty high endurance. You can actually drop this down if you're using the Arsenal Jar Talisman to be able to increase your equip load even more. Kind of just play with it. You're going to need a lot of equipment load for this particular build, but you definitely do not have to be level 303. I'm in New Game Plus 7, so it just kind of happens that you're this high level. But yeah, let's go right into the gear. Starting off with the weapon. Apparently I can't emote and also look at the gears at the same time, but so Godskin Stitcher. Godskin Stitcher. You know what I mean? So what's good about this weapon? It's a thrusting sword. We're using a shield. So a thrusting sword allows us to block and attack at the same time without breaking our block. So essentially, we can take no damage while we deal the damage. Godskin Stitcher is a lot of range, as well as has a good scaling for some of our important stats. You can see that the blood loss buildup is 139, which is crazy. We have 60 arcane, and that also helps it. The other weapon that we use is a bloody ant spur. This is just really good for enemies that are immune to bleed. You can just Scarlet Rot them as well. It's also costs way less stamina to attack with. It weighs less as well. If you have enough equipment load, you can actually use both of these to be able to just hot swap them. Um, However, you know, your weapon does have to be some sort of thrusting weapon. Just keep that in mind. The Ash of War that we use is the Seppuku Ash of War. The main reason why we use this is because right now I'm using the Lord of Blood's Exulsion, which when you stab yourself does count as blood loss, so you get the 10% increased attack power there, as well as the increased attack power, as well as the increased blood loss buildup. It's very good. You could also maybe use Bloody Slash if you're doing like a more PvP type thing. I know that it was kind of nerfed. It's not it's not too much of a nerf, so you're probably not gonna feel it too much. We do use a finger seal because we're using Golden Vow. We have 25 faith, so we do get to use that. However, that's also not necessary. That's just for new game stuff. And so onto the shield, arguably one of the most important pieces of the entire build. So this shield starts off with 80 guard boost. 80 guard boost, and then when you get to 25, it goes up to 90. Guard boost is how much stamina you lose when you block. Like, hey, you know, you said you don't lose stamina. What's the deal with that? It's because we use the Great Shield Talisman. It boosts guarding ability, and it's, I think, 10%. Either way, we don't take any damage from stamina when we block from anything at all. No magic, no fizz. We use this because it greatly, and I mean greatly, we go from let's see, 38 to 50 on our defenses there. Really, really crazy. We use the Green Turtle Talisman. The reason why we use this is because it allows us to regain stamina, actually, when we are continually blocking, which means you can stay blocking if you can't, open up in a spot, to regain your stamina quickly. The last slot is very fluid. I use for damage. You can also use this if the enemy is immune to bleed. This is about the same amount of damage, but this is more consistent if the enemy can bleed. You can get more poise. I think I can get up to 133. It's really, really crazy. You can use more defensive things. You could use Erdtree's Favor. You could use Great Jar Arsenal. There's a lot of different things that you can use for the last one. It just kind of depends on what you want. Obviously, Gold Scarab swap. The Bull Goat Helm, and I'll show you where all these are at the end of the video. So Bull Goat Horn, the Bull Goat armor is very, very good. It's very heavy. That's why you need a large amount of endurance. But it does give you some of the highest defenses, as well as the highest poise out of all the armors. It's very crazy how high of this armor gives you. I mean, look at those stats. What? So, in our physic, we are using Bubble and eliminated all FP consumption. If you did not know, I use Black Knife Tiche. I can't actually summon Black Knife Tiche until I drink my flask. It eliminates all FP. It's not just for spells. And then I can, cast this and cast my Golden Vow and all that stuff. And it costs 0 mana while the flask is there. So keep that in mind if you're wanting to use these summons that are high FP costs and you don't have a lot of mana, especially on these melee characters. Just use your physic. It's awesome. You can get the Bloody Antspur just west of the Shaded Castle. You'll be invaded by a NPC, and you can get it here. After helping Patches, he will eventually go to the Volcano Manor, and he'll give you a quest to go kill this guy. If you didn't know, this is the summon that you can summon for the Magma Worm fight. Upon killing him, you'll get his armor, which is that super high stat armor I was talking about before. Just make sure you don't kill Patches, because he is required in order to get this armor. To get the Godskin Stitcher, you almost forget to record, so you have to stop fighting the boss and start recording. You get it by killing this guy in the Volcano Manor. Um, Drop it every time. So now listen, it wasn't even close. Don't even look at my health bar. The guard boosting talisman can be found in the back of this cart, and then just follow the map that I show you to find it. The green turtle shell talisman can be found here in one of the catacombs areas. This is a pretty beginner level area. I'm assuming that a lot of people already have this one. This one is slightly more complicated, but it is in the Lindell catacombs, down in the sewers. Located, the entrance is located right about here. I would look up a more extensive guide and to find that one. For the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, I'm going to leave a link to a video in the description for this one because it is slightly more complicated of a find than the other ones, but it is at the bonfire right before Melania, so keep that in mind. And last but not least, thank you guys so much for watching and being around and playing Elden Ring. Such an amazing, amazing game. And I can't wait to play another 200 hours of it, and maybe get into some more new games. Maybe I'll max level a character. Who really knows? All I know is I'm having an absolute beautiful time playing this game, and just sharing this build with you is also something that am very excited about. So if you have any questions at all, I would love to answer them down in the comments below. With that, I will bid you beautiful people adieu. And one last thing.
You're beautiful.
As creepy as that is, I'll use that to send us off. See you later.